Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is October 31st, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1955, the luchador known as Panico. 1964, watch out, it's the Boogeyman. And last but not least, 1998, Japan's own Dragon Dia. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for October 31st. 1991, Gene Anderson. All right, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for October 31st. A short trip in the Wayback Machine today as we start in 1969, where we see Tarzan Baxter defeat Chuck Carbo to win the TSW North American Heavyweight title. Leaping ahead a decade to 1979, Giant Baba defeats Harley Race for the NWA World Heavyweight title in Nyago, Japan, ending Race's third reign with the belt and starting Baba's second run as champion. Grabbing my boombox and going to the 80s, 1983, Johnny Mantell defeats Jimmy Garvin for the World Class Television title. Jumping ahead to 1989, WWF Saturday Night's main event was taped in Topeka, Kansas at the Kansas Coliseum. This show is notable for three reasons. 1. The Ultimate Warrior defeating Andre the Giant, albeit via disqualification. Lanny Poffo defeating WWF World Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan via countout. After the match, Mr. Perfect destroyed the WWF title belt with a hammer. And last but not least, the Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, defeating the Brainbusters, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson in a three-falls match. This would be the final time Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard ever wrestled as a tag team. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge, 1998. Matsuhiro Mitsiwa defeats Kenta Kobashi for the All Japan Triple Crown in Tokyo, Japan. With this win, Misawa tied Stan Hansen's record for the most Triple Crown reigns at 4. Misawa would go on to have 5, which has since been tied by Kawada. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for October 31st. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.